Hello everyone, it is Luna, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. So I took a little bit of a break, even though I don't actually have an official uploading schedule, because I know that I'll have to take breaks sometimes. It did feel weird kind of going from posting so much and then disappearing. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I just had kind of overdone it in a few areas of my life and needed to rest up a bit. And to the main topic of the video, I was also working on a major piece of my blog. So I don't think I actually made a separate Lolita fashion resolutions video that I can remember. I did talk about my no-buy, which I'll be talking about in my next video of this month. That's fashion related. However, what I did with some of the time that I would have been using to work on YouTube is I was going through a ton. Who set their car off? Hopefully you guys can't hear that, but it's a whole symphony outside. There's a parking lot that's outside of the window of my studio. I was using... It's being rude and interrupting me. Somebody get their car? We may just have to continue. All right, we must soldier forward. Yeah, nobody's getting that. So what I was working on was the resources section of my blog, and I'm super happy that I finished that earlier this month. And so that means I actually finished a New Year's resolution in March, which is the most accomplished I have ever been on a New Year's resolution, quite frankly. And while doing that, I had such a good time. There are so many Lolita channels with so many awesome resources that, like, I feel like no one has seen. The way I went about this to update the resources section of my blog is I was going through all of the Lolita fashion YouTubers I was subscribed to and going through their videos one by one. And any video that I thought might be helpful to a beginner, I put on my beginner resources section. I'm eventually going to put this all into one long playlist, but I know there is at least over like 3 days worth of video on there, given the just in-depth explanations of all of these niche topics. It was so cool. And as I was going through this, the algorithm finally started recommending other channels to me. So I ended up doubling back, going into those other channels, and going through all their videos too. And there were so many cool things that I learned. I learned a trick for like safety pins to put through like your bra strap if you're a plus size Lolita to keep your JSKs from slipping out of place and looking weird if you're moving out and about or taking pictures, which was super cool. There's a whole guide on how to wear Lolita to Disneyland. There was guides for how to give and get concrete that exist. There are guides for how to do very specific things. There's lifestyle Lolita advice, there's beginner advice, there's advanced advice, there's like all sorts of really cool, wonderful stuff. And I feel like it is so easy in the Lolita community to kind of just look longingly at the good old days of what once was and just feel like, oh gosh, I joined it too late. But I honestly think now is the best time ever to become a Lolita, quite frankly. There are tons of indie brands. There are so much more acceptance for like alterations, and you can get it in any size, color, motif that you really want now, which is amazing. And it was just so much fun for me to just like take some time and just go through all of these things. And I wasn't even finished yet. I also went through all of the blogs that are on Bay Area K that are part of Biblioteca, which I write for Biblioteca on my blog sometimes. The Lolita Fashion Resolutions post on my blog that I mentioned earlier was actually part of the January theme challenges. I dropped off the face of the planet on my blog in February because I was also working on updating the beginner resources section of my blog. And it was as I said, I just wanted to like share that really like joyful realization that like there is so much information out there. I do also have frustration with Google because when I went and Googled Lolita fashion or how to wear Lolita, the results are like the 3 big people that everyone knows, and then ads, just advertisements. Like a lot of the times I feel like it kind of gave me a moment where I was like, you know, I don't think beginners have ever bothered me that much, but it did give me a renewed patience for beginners because I've been interested in Lolita since high school. It took me a really long time to get the hang of it, in my opinion. And it's not easy. We always are like, well, you can Google the answers. Google isn't very good for the answers. And if somebody isn't experienced with like the type of existence on the web where you click one link to get to another link to get to another link, it would be very difficult, I think, for people to find things. Now, this is not me saying like my beginner resources section should be the be-all end-all for all beginners, but I hope it could be a really helpful jumping off point for anybody who comes across this video who is a beginner and is like, where do I start? And I'm like, here's like 12 people's opinion on where you should start. I put them all in a list, all in a row. And when I updated that section of my blog, I tried really hard not to let any one person become the definitive voice on how to do something if I could find multiple examples of the topic of that video or blog post. Some things I could really only find like one quality example. So if anyone cares enough or wants to like be like, hey, I think you should include this video or this blog post if you're somebody who likes to read blogs or enjoys that, let me know. I will probably add it because I added people I don't even, some of the things I even added on there I might not necessarily agree with. Some of the resources might contradict each other. Because another thing I was thinking of while I was going through it and I was seeing all the different kinds of people that are into Lolita fashion was that I feel like it's really easy to like, especially when you're a beginner and the way that algorithms work is like a self-reinforcing thing, even within tiny niches, to let like one thing be like the voice of things, which is kind of a tricky balance with Lolita fashion because Lolita fashion, there is a hard line where something is or is not Lolita anymore, but like who gets to dictate that line and where that line is a whole thing that exists, and figuring that out later on, and that could be a video that went on for 3 hours. But it was so fun just to hear all these different voices and ideas on how to start, just people who look all sorts of different ways, people of different races and sizes and genders, all contributing what they think was awesome, and that just exists. I didn't ask like anyone for that. That just is out there in the world for you to find, and I hope that if anything, just keep looking for resources. It was super fun. Google and YouTube search engines are not kind to the word Lolita fashion, so don't get discouraged if you're beginning or you're trying to find something. Enjoy, take a look. There are so many resources, and honestly, I think community is the best way to learn, and just keep, you know, enjoying, participating, having fun in whatever capacity brings you joy, whether you like to dress up alone and show nobody. It's literally just for you. You don't post any pictures, you don't go outside, it's only you. Enjoy. And if you're somebody who's likes to like try to organize conventions and put everything together like the lovely people who were at Bay Area K, which I've never gotten to meet. Well, I probably met some in person. I probably didn't put together that they were them at Paradiso, but I've never gotten to go to any of their events in person, but their virtual events are great, so please keep supporting their virtual events. They're awesome. I really enjoy being on Biblioteca. Also, with me talking about this, some of the only ways I found these lovely Lolita fashion YouTubers was part of our Lolita fashion YouTubers group on Facebook. If you are a Lolita fashion YouTuber and we have not found you yet and you'd like to join, please send a link over. The only requirement, not a link over, a request over. The only requirement is that you have a YouTube channel and you have actively posted one video related in some way to Lolita fashion. If you haven't posted a video yet, I will not accept that because you do have to have the video up, but as soon as you do, you can apply. Thank you guys so much for listening to my very excited ramble. I had just such a great time, and it just really reinforced my love for the community and this fashion. Remember to eat good food, drink some water, and get some rest. Luna, out.